going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies podcast, Mr. Cincinnati. That's the podcast dad rocking that Kelly Green. It is Super Bowl week. How are we feeling?
Yup, hey.
You got to give me
week.
more than that, okay?
Big week.
Yes. Let's hear it.
Got rocking the Randall Cunningham today. For those who know, you know. Yeah, no, it's you know how the Super Bowl week feels. You know the little jitteries that you get. But well, I'm ready to talk about that a little bit further down the week. But we have Rumble to talk about. We also have an amazing guest, so I'll let you get into your plugs and we'll hit this one off.
Yes, sir. I just really wanted you to have that moment to start the show because you're going to be eating crow in about 25 minutes. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Make sure to follow us on X at JunkiesPod. I just noticed there's definitely something new about this layout here. You notice there's no ads or anything. This is I noticed none of this when I got started today. But make sure you follow us on X at JunkiesPod. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at Wrestling JunkiesPod. But most importantly, do us a favor: subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. We need your help to get there. I believe the current count today is 423. So thank you to everybody for their support. The podcast that hit our audience with that magic number, if you could.
I was throwing the wrong finger. Just one. Tell one person. No, we're going to acknowledge that. Tell one person if you like what we're doing here. If you're rooting for the Eagles in the Super Bowl, hey, you got a Super Bowl party coming up. Tell them about the Junkies. Hey, one of the Junkies is an Eagles fan. Go check him out. Let's see what his victory Monday is going to look like. So, just tell one person.
And while you're at it, make sure you follow our friends at the Main Event Wrestling Network at mainevent_net on all social media platforms. Already missing this weekend. We did have an incredible Royal Rumble weekend with the crew. We had the podcast mom. We had MJB. We had Mr. OTM. Your son was there, Dirk Vogus. Yeah. Hopefully he'll tune in tonight. Yeah. A who's who of people. Shout out to JPJ and Pluggo. Shout out to Val Pancake. Shout out to Effie for being so fucking awesome to us as well. It was a great fucking weekend.
Yep, and we will leave it at that.
Well, we're going to have a lot more to say about that here in just a minute. Let's see. Podcast Dad made sure to let the vlog know that you are an Eagles fan, so that fandom has been acknowledged.
Good.
On the Main Event blog that Mr. OTM put together. Make sure to check that out. That we reposted that on our socials this morning. So make sure to check that out. Kyle did an amazing job with it. Podcast Dad, do you need some new wrestling merch in your life? Did you get to go to the store this weekend?
See, I didn't get to go to the store, so I do need some wrestling merchandise. Where can I get that? Okay.
GorillaPressApparel.BigCartel.com. Remember, promo code WJP2024 for 25% off site-wide. Gary J's shirts are flying off of the virtual shelves there. If you're a wrestler, manager, referee, promoter, you need some merch for those tables, DM them over at Gorilla Press app on X. Will does an amazing job. Talented crew he's got over there. So make sure to go support our friends at Gorilla Press Apparel. And let's see what we got here. You're welcome, Kyle. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, it was an incredible job. This man stayed working that entire weekend to get some stuff out. So very, very happy with what he put together. Podcast. Oh, you sound like you're getting ready to say something, bud.
We just it was a fun weekend. Found out on the drive home that all the door dashing I did happened to be on Heather's card. So I was chewed out for that. The 3 a.m. Taco Bell run that DoorDash delivered was great, but it was on the wife's dime, so now I have to make up for that. But hey, we had fun. All right.
That's give and take. Isn't that what marriage is?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. No. I don't want you. I don't want to get you in trouble.
You'll figure it out one day.
Yeah. Look who's in the house. JPJ stopping by. Good to see you, buddy.
Hello.
Again, incredible weekend getting to catch up with you guys. Got to hear a little bit of the Royal Rumble presser. We heard Pluggo's question get asked. Again, keep up the amazing work, you guys. Always great, whether it's an hour, whether it's a minute. It's always great to have a few minutes, have some time to catch up with you guys for sure.
100%. All right, Eric, I'm done hearing you talk.
Okay. Okay, well, I promise this will be the last bit of it, but it is to introduce our guest. We are thrilled to be joined by the reigning, defending inaugural Off the Page champion, Max Brooker. Had an incredible run as their inaugural champion. He's defended it against some of the biggest names on the UK indie scene. He's trained by former WWE stars Zach Gibson and James Drake. He's made his mark in promotions like OTP, Wrestle Island, TNT Extreme, and Atomic Pro. He's riding high off of an incredible 2024, capped off with the prestigious Male Wrestler of the Year for OTP. And this weekend, he faces Ian Skinner for the OTP Championship. You want to make sure to check this out. Get it on YouTube, I'm sure. So without further ado, join us as we welcome Max Brooker to the stream. Max, what's going on? How are you, man?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Good. Couldn't be any better. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Absolutely, no problem.
A bit late over there, we know.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say it's all right. It's all right for me. I'm a little bit of a nighttime person anyway, so.
Good.
Nice. Well, we're greatly appreciative of the time, so let's dive in. Here at the Wrestling Junkies podcast, we look at the world of pro wrestling, superheroes and supervillains that clash. The one thing they do have in common are origin stories. So, Max, if you could, just tell us about some of your earliest memories of pro wrestling.
Well, see, it's a really good one because I can't remember a time when I wasn't aware of professional wrestling. I was born in '98, so if you sort of look at the ages of up to 4 years old when you're forming those early sort of memories, wrestling was as big as it ever was. So The Rock was a household name for me growing up. Stone Cold Steve Austin was a household name for me growing up. These were just the names that were thrown around. And then my older brother and sister sort of fell out of it like the rest of the world did, and it took a back burner. And I think I was maybe like 10 years old or something, and it was my brother had petitioned and begged my mum for months to get the carrier that carries the sports in the UK so he could watch the football. And one of the happy coincidences was that wrestling was on the same channel. And all my friends at school watched wrestling, so I was like, okay, I want to watch this thing that they all watch. And I remember watching Extreme Rules in 2008, and it was Jeff Hardy versus Umaga opened the show. Mm-hmm. And I just remember being like, I don't know what this is, but this is great. And it's never really gone away from there.
Yeah, great match. If I'm not mistaken, that's the one where he dove off the television truck when they were outside.
Yeah, which completely, when I was 10 years old, convinced me. I was so, you watch that now again, it's pretty obvious how they did that. But at the time, I was blown away. There was no telling me in school. I just thought Jeff Hardy was the coolest guy in the world.
That's awesome. So let's fast forward a little bit. The inaugural Off the Page champion. How has that experience been for you so far? And what does this championship mean to you?
Well, it's a really good question. It's been an incredible experience so far. OTP has been a company that was founded by a guy that I really respect and have worked with for years and years and years, who decided that he wanted to run his own company. Was very touched that he wanted me to be part of that company to begin with, and I've been even more touched and honoured by the positions that he's put me in, and I just feel like I've been able to really come into my own. And Off the Page, it's given me a place where I can really show who I am. And winning that championship meant the world to me, and that championship does mean the world to me, and it really means the world to me to be the first ever, because it means I really get to set the standard and set the bar high, hopefully anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that you've done an incredible job about that. I mean, your title defenses include Liam Carr, Ben Reed. For you, what's been the most memorable defense so far, and why?
So it's got to be Liam Carr, and that's because he's a guy that I pretty much cut my teeth with. We were both on a holiday camps together when we were super young. I was like 19, he was like 17, and we'd never really. I think we might have wrestled each other on some holiday camps years and years and years ago, but it'd been years, and we sort of fell out of touch. And this past year, got back in touch and having the opportunity to wrestle him again, and to both sort of check in with each other and see where we both are, and to both find that we've both improved so much was a really, really fun experience. And it was probably one of my favorite matches that I had all of last year, if not my whole career. So yeah.
Yeah, let's continue to talk here about OTP. So you want to be a great champion for that company. You were recently voted male wrestler of the year in that company. Again, what does that mean to you from the recognition from your peers and your fans?
Yeah, well, I think that is the main thing. It's knowing that whatever I'm doing is clearly connecting with the fans out there enough for them to go out and vote. There's an incredible group of lads that and girls that I share the locker room with, and any one of them is deserving of all the credit and all the applause. And the fact that they voted me the best male wrestler just goes to show that something that I am doing is working. So that means the world to me.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's talk a little bit more about this weekend. OTP Championship, Max Brooker, Ian Skinner. For those of us in the States that are not familiar with Ian's work, tell us how you're preparing for this match and what makes him such a great challenger for this title.
Well, Ian Skinner's been a guy who's been working really, really hard for years. Again, I became aware of him years ago, maybe like 2019. I want to say maybe 2020 was when we first met, and we were both sort of struggling and coming up. And he's sort of come up in a parallel world that I have. We were both in different parts of the country. He was up in Scotland quite a lot. And again, I've watched him from afar go from strength to strength to strength. So it's just been a matter of trying to focus on my own stuff and not get too caught up in what my peers are doing, but at the same time watching and giving respect to him because he's been putting an incredible amount of work in. If anyone wants to go and find him on Twitter and go and look at or X, I should say, I'll never get used to saying that. But if anyone wants to go and find him on there, then I recommend that you do and just go and look at some of the stuff that he puts out because it's clear that he works so hard at this. And it's clear that it's something that he takes very seriously. So the least I can do is take him seriously as well.
Yeah. You have also been involved in several big matches outside of OTP, including working for Atomic Pro Wrestling. How does it feel to kind of represent OTP on that global scale? With staying loyal and trying to stay loyal to OTP with promotions like Wrestle Island, TNT Extreme Wrestling, everywhere else that you're showing up. How does it feel to kind of have that moniker of I'm Mr. OTP at this point?
Yeah, well, see, that is a really good question because I work with sort of all of these companies in different sort of capacities, and my relationships with them sometimes predate OTP. So I met Ben Cecil, the promoter of OTP, at TNT. We both used to work at TNT. I used to run the ring crew for them before I wrestled there, and he used to run the music and the sound and various bits backstage. So sort of that's how we met. So it became an interesting thing where OTP started to take more of an interest in me, more of a stake in me. So it became a really interesting juggling was the right word. I think that you used it. It's a juggling act because I have all these pre-existing relationships with all these companies, and I owe them loyalty as well. But at the same time, you have to sort of go, okay, well, this company is going to do X, Y, and Z, and this company is going to do X, Y, and Z, and how do we honor both of those and make both of those work and not insist on one over the other, if that makes sense. I think that's always been a pet peeve for me when guys come into different promotions, especially on the indie level, and go, well, I'm doing X, Y, and Z in this company, so that means that I can't show respect to your champion or to so-and-so, or I can't do X, Y, and Z myself. I always thought that was kind of silly, is the best word I can describe for it. It seems pointless, it seems counterintuitive. It seems like you're not willing to do business. And sure. I'm always willing to do business. There are things that we can always do. We can always make it work. So, yeah.
Do you think that helps kind of set you apart, that you're walking into different promotions without that ego of going, well, I'm the champion here, I'm not going to do anything here? How do you think that's helped you kind of wrestle for all these other companies so far?
Well, yeah. So it's a sort of it's a turn left to go right sort of situation because. Mm-hmm. I actually find that weirdly helps. Like, there's a company I worked a lot for, Britannia Promotions in North Wales and the northwest of England, and I walked in there with no sort of intentions or I'm the champ of this place, so I've got to be a big deal here. And because I didn't walk in with any sort of ego or any sort of pre-existing notion of what I thought should happen, they in fact turned around and went, oh, well, do you want to bring the belt out with you, and do you want to put it on the line, and do you want to do this, and do you want to do X, and do you want to do Y and Z? And they've reciprocated my level of openness, you know what I mean? So I think there are lots of people who don't realize how counterintuitive that sort of behavior can be, and that sort of ego-driven stuff can be. Because at the end of the day, it's a work. We're all we're all here to do a job, and if you're not here to do the job, then it's like, do you think it's real?
Yeah.
Because we can send you to an MMA gym if you want to go and beat up everybody, and we can see how long you do beat up everybody for, because I bet you it's not as long as you think it's going to be. Like, we're here to tell stories, and we're here to put smiles on faces. And if I have to eat shit on a show to put smiles on families' faces, then I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I've got a belt around my waist. But that, again, at the same time, doesn't mean that I'm going to go and respect that belt. I might just keep it in the back that day. It's not that difficult, you know? So yeah.
Great answer. Great answer.
Well, kind of keeping with this theme of working multiple promotions and different styles, I believe you got a match coming up here, wrestling in a brewery, Act 2, taking on Trail of the Dead. We do not know which of the three of you are going to be competing in this match, so it's kind of a two-parter for you. What's it like to wrestle in a brewery, and can you give us the inside scoop of who's going to be competing in that match this week?
Well, I think you're just gonna have to keep your eye on the Atomic Wrestling social pages to do that. I don't think I'm gonna let the card show that early. But I will tell you, Atomic Wrestling is an incredible atmosphere. It's an incredible vibe. It's an incredible company to work for. It started by a couple of guys that have been around wrestling for years and years. They actually trained with Zach Gibson and James Drake at the same school that I did years and years ago. And then post-COVID, started their own company, putting a wrestling show on in a brewery, and it was just the wildest thing I'd ever been to. There was like 200 rabid fans, sold out the first 10 shows they did on the bounce, and it's one of the most different vibes I've ever been around. Like, I do a lot of family shows and stuff like that, to then go and wrestle in a brewery on a Wednesday night in front of a crowd of people who I'd say 75% of the people don't really watch wrestling. They're sort of maybe a bit more of a hipster crowd. They're the sort of crowd that drinks in a brewery. Mm-hmm. So they see the posters and they come to the shows. So it's a really, really interesting experience, and it's really interesting as a wrestler to go out and perform in front of those sorts of crowds, because it sort of shows you how good you really are and how much you really understand what you're doing, if you can make it work for everybody and not just a crowd that's sort of in the know.
How do you balance kind of your singles career and then your tag team career? Like, how do you have to get in different mindsets? Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, well, so I started as a singles wrestler, always never really had a tag team partner or anything like that. And then I took a little break from wrestling around COVID, came back and was based at a school in Manchester, the Future Shock Performance Centre. And my coach there, Sam Bailey, he turned around to me one day and went, I've got something for you on our shows. How would you feel about tagging with Riz, who is Rizman Khan, who then became my tag team partner for the next 2 years. And he, again, funnily enough, to start a theme, was a guy that I'd met years back in like 2019 when I was first starting out. Got along with him well, never really thought much about it. But when it came time to be like, get thrown together as a tag team, I was like, yeah, there's 100 worse guys that you could come up with for me. Yeah, sure, absolutely no bother working with him. And I'm really glad we did get thrown together, because that was such like an unexpected thing for me. I never pictured myself as a tag wrestler at all. So to be able to, we then went on to win the Future Shock Tag Team Championships, which was, again, a brilliant honor. And also he'd had like a couple of tag team partners before, and he felt like they'd never really gelled and clicked, so that when it felt like we clicked, it was such an incredible sort of honor and privilege. But I never really had much issue separating the singles from the tag stuff. I think it just becomes sort of preference. I enjoy doing tag stuff, I think, because it's more communal with more guys in there. It's hard to explain, because when it really hits and you're really all moving constantly, it becomes such like a beautiful thing to be a part of. But again, it's fun to be the singles guy too. It's fun to be the focus of attention. It's fun to be the guy that gets to stand in the middle and get all the attention, So both things have always been really enjoyable to me.
Awesome. Well, let's turn ahead to the rest of 2025 here. Again, it's early in the year. You're defending championships all over the place. People are people want to wrestle you. Tony Wright's been very vocal about wanting to face you in a one-on-one match. How's it feel to have this kind of challenge thrown your way? And is this a match you think we'll see in 2025?
Oh, 100%. Oh, I'd be very disappointed if I didn't see myself as Tony Wright in a wrestling ring somewhere in England in 2025. He's a guy that I've known for a while. He's a guy that I've respected for a while. When I was coming back into training and coming back into wrestling in the tail end of 2021, start of 2022, he was a guy who I sort of set the level by. I was like, okay, I need to catch up to where he's at, and then we can start going. So I think to be able to finally get that chance to sort of measure up to him would be an opportunity that I'd absolutely relish. And I think that we would have an incredible match. And to be honest, I'm quite honoured that anyone wants to wrestle me. I'm thankful that absolutely anyone wants to wrestle me. I'm just really grateful that everyone's not going, no, that guy, are you joking? I'm not touching him. So yeah.
For sure.
All right. As we kind of wind down here, I'm going to ask you the hardest question you're going to get for this interview. Every guest gets asked this question, and you are no different. Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels or The Undertaker?
So as a pure fan, it's The Undertaker. It's got to be The Undertaker. Okay. That's got to be the answer. If you're gonna ask me to put my wrestler brain on and go behind the curtain, it is Shawn Michaels. But the instant response, which I think is how we should all try and deal with wrestling, is always from the basic fundamental. How did they make you feel when you first saw them? The Undertaker was always the top guy for me.
Yep. Great answer.
Hey, I like it. Max, thank you so very much for joining us tonight. Before we let you go, where can everybody find you on social media, and where can I see you in the ring next?
Yeah, so it's at Max Brooker 15 on pretty much all social media platforms. If you can't find me on there under that handle, I probably don't have that platform yet. I've not decided which one I'm going to move from X to yet. I'm going to see where the cards land first. And then apart from that, I'm at Atomic this Wednesday. Again, get your eyes on Atomic socials. If you're around the Liverpool area, I think they have a few tickets left. Yeah, so by all means, go down there, get some tickets, come and watch an incredible show. And then apart from that, this Saturday, it's OTP, me versus Ian Skinner. Going to be an incredible match if you're in the Warrington area. If you're in the Northwest at all, come down and see that. That's going to be brilliant. And then on Sunday, it is the Wrestle Island's annual Rumble show. Red Light, Green Light, I believe it's called. It's in St. Anne's Parish Centre in Rock Ferry on the Wirral. So if you're in that area at all, don't know how many international listeners I have, but get down to their socials. Even if you don't, they've got loads of shows on YouTube, all of those companies. So that's where I am next.
Love it. Well, Max, thank you so very much for joining us. Best of luck this week and beyond. Hope to have you on the show again soon.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you.
All the best. Thank you to Max Brooker for joining us tonight. And thank you for joining us as well. Make sure to follow us again at Junkies Pod on X for everything Wrestling Junkies Podcast. Remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Junkies Pod. But most importantly, do us a favor. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, and we need your help to get there. I believe the count is 423 right now. Just tell one person. Ain't that right, Chris?
Just one. Like, probably the only win I just got right there. Just one.
Yeah.
Eric's going to yell at me right now. So
I also have to point this out. As a barber, I love this men's camp. It's every stage of beard growth between us and Max. I think, there's differing stages of beard length there.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. Appreciate the compliment there. We also did have this from Dion here watching on YouTube. His Mount Rushmore: Shawn, Austin, Taker, and Cena. That's a damn good Mount Rushmore there, and there is a lot to break down here within, especially as we talk Cena and his legacy here. Chris, the Royal Rumble is in the books.
Yes, it is. Yes,
incredible
it is.
night. Hell, I mean, we had
time.
some damn good seats. We've been really, really good about making sure that we've got some fire seats for these PLEs.
Yeah, no, especially since all you go to is Big Fours apparently. King is here. Hello, King. With the Kelly
Better
Green.
be here.
Yeah, it's in breaking news for the King. Eric did complete the story.
Yes,
he did. We counted it down at the GCW show.
I survived through January.
He did get to midnight. I did not.
Had me a tequila shot, had me a few high noons. That GCW show was fucking. Can we talk? Let's talk about that for just a few minutes here. That was your first GCW show. So initial impressions.
I like indie shows. I have a bruise on my leg, actually, from Mance Warner being thrown into the chairs. Those hit me. So I have a bruise on my leg. Hey, I'll take it. Battle scar, right?
Worth it.
But it was a fun show, a fun environment. The afterward shenanigans.
There were some shenanigans. Dylan Bostic and Joe Janela getting into a little fisticuffs after the show. Calvin Tankman kind of ushering him out there.
Yeah. That was
work or a shoot. Who knows?
I don't know, but I'm interested to see what's next. But yeah, a lot of fun. It was a good time.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm hoping that they'll be back in Columbus or Dayton or somewhere kind of relatively soon. And King Chris, the Kingdom rejoices. Yes, I survived. There was so much peer pressure that I couldn't end it a few hours early, so I didn't.
That's fair. I think by the time we got to the GCW show, I was already 80 seltzers deep, and then I was just double fisted for the 3 hours we were there. Then
you were, you were unwell the next day.
I'm still unwell, Eric. I'm 30. I can't do that stuff anymore.
Okay.
Those 2-day hangovers are no joke.
Yep.
No joke, my friend. But yeah, Rumble was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Great seats, like you said. I thought 2 very well booked Rumbles. I rewatched the entire show last night. 2 very different booked Rumbles, but I thought 2 very, very well booked Rumbles. And the tag match was good. I think it was put in a very tough spot. I thought the tag match was good, though. All 4 guys worked very hard to deliver kind of what they could in the time that they were given. And then Cody and KO, I think you got an early contender for match of the year. I mean, it was a lot of storytelling in that match, and Kevin Owens, man, taking just some crazy
fucking Alabama slam.
That
in the bridge spot,
worst.
I know, but still, just like
that back body drop where he just
they've been doing them open ladder spots a lot lately. It's
that one was gross. I mean, even rewatching it was like, oh man, but like a lot of fun, and I'm happy because I feel like they needed to hit on these Rumbles, and I wasn't disappointed at all with anything we got. I mean, one thing, but we'll get into it.
Yeah. So, Dion, so basically, we thought, and we can each go through our picks here. I did pick Charlotte Flair, and then CM Punk for the men's. I'm just answering. I'm answering his question. Is that you'll get a chance to answer his question too? Would you like to do that, please?
No, go ahead.
I gave my answer. Who were your picks? Yeah.
What was your overall grade there, sir?
Overall grade, I'm gonna give this an A-. This is a solid A- here.
Yeah, I had Io Sky, who started the Rumble, which immediately kind of threw my pick out of there. But I had Io Sky winning the women's, and then I had Punk as well winning the men's. I think it was an A. I think this will go down as a when you can rewatch a Rumble. Like these will be 2 that you'll be like, Yeah, let's throw those on. Those were fun. And that's kind of the tell of a good Rumble, right? Like when you don't have to sit there and kind of like, all right, let me put on a Rumble. Is this a top 5 Rumble? I don't know. Top 10? Perhaps. We'll see.
Yeah. I would agree with that completely. And we're gonna go match by match here, but this was also the single highest gate for a single night event in company history, only behind nights 1 and 2 of WrestleMania last year. So it was really cool to be a part of history, and we're obviously going to talk about Cena and the finish of that match. But let's dive into the women's Rumble here. Yes, again, Charlotte Flair winning the Rumble upon the return from the ACL. We saw it live, and I think we both have gotten a chance to rewatch the show, in its entirety. So I think that we're able to kind of look at it from that perspective of being there, and then how they present it from a production standpoint. What stood out to you in the Rumble match?
A couple things. Roxanne Perez, an hour and 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. Came in at number 3, as I have the list here, and lasted a very long time. Very, very, very impressive, and I think that kind of tells you what they see and what they have in Roxanne. Like, she's going to be probably a future winner of this match, I would assume. And to have the confidence to have, someone that's 23, I think, be the Iron Woman of the Rumble. I mean, that gives you all the confidence in the world. Chelsea Green is top tier right now. I mean, she is at the top of her game right now. I love everything she's doing. Everything she does makes sense. I hope they don't break her and Piper Niven up yet. I'm not ready for that. I'm really not ready for that. But enjoyed all of her spots in the Rumble. Maxine Dupree, I thought got, and that's just me personally, I thought got a very good spot in this Rumble for being in it for 1 minute and 20 seconds. I thought that was really cool, especially after last year when I'm pretty sure she got booed coming out. Yeah. But getting her spot in the Rumble was fun. It was cool to see. It was cool to see the kind of turn that we had for her.
It was like a throwback to, and I saw this on Twitter, it's like a throwback to the Divas era. Her presentation, everything about it has that aura, but she has been working her ass off to get better in the ring, and she looked infinitely better this year than she did last year. So we do have a question here from Nick. Who do we think dethrones Chelsea Green?
That's a good question. I'd have to look at the roster. I mean, right now nothing obvious is standing out, so that might be a good sign for me. Because I don't see one. I don't see an obvious one standing out right now at the moment. Yeah. If you want to do something crazy and have BFAB win that and kind of start her push, maybe bring somebody out from NXT to do that. That would be fun too. But I think this could be a long reign for Chelsea because she's fun on TV. I think her with the title just adds that presentation to it.
Yeah, I think the easiest story to tell is a Chelsea Piper split. I don't want it anytime soon, but I think with Piper Niven, she's somebody that before you could, because I do think that she can be a world champion in WWE. I think that she needs a mid card run with a belt like this first. And I think that would be that's kind of the most natural story right now because, for as lovable as this gimmick is, Chelsea could eventually take it a little too far with P, and that would be, and it won't take much. I think this was just an anomaly as far as the Rumble spot goes, and just kind of another wrinkle. But that's kind of. That's what I think right now. Dion wishes that Asuka would have come back.
Same.
I definitely do too. Yeah.
If she's not healthy, she's not healthy. It kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
and it seems like that there's some things related to fan interactions that
might
be taking a toll on her emotionally, which is and we noticed that. Yeah, we noticed that a little bit walking by because on the way to the convention center to the Superstore. At least I noticed it anyway because you weren't with me. But I'm fairly certain that they were staying at one of the hotels across from the convention center. There were people kind of lined up at the access garage waiting for people, and it's the same spot that Drew did a promo that WWE put on their socials, but it's just not worth waiting at their hotel or waiting for them by the garages from the building, which we also saw leaving the stadium. It's just, this is them going to work. Once that show's over, they're, let them decompress and kind of have their moments.
It's a good message. That's a good message. They offer their pictures and signings. Go pay for it. Jordan Gray showing
the King
up.
Oh yes.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the King has a question whenever you're ready.
Let me fly through this real quick just to finish up
of course.
my notes. Jordan Gray showing up, going to be a star. Looks like she might go to NXT, which not mad at it. Alexa
That's
Bliss,
totally fine. Yeah,
probably got the biggest pop of the night. Yeah,
it was wild in person and picked up by the cameras very well. It was, without a doubt. Yeah,
I mean, if not like second, maybe, but that crowd went insane for Alexa Bliss.
Yeah,
I think that was the biggest pop of the night, and that says something, right? With everybody else we saw in both Rumbles, as well as like a Cody Rhodes, it's good to see her back, and it seems like it happened quickly, and then boom, she was there. So that's awesome.
Also, real quick, shout out to Liv Morgan. She's a real one for helping out Lyra when she had the wardrobe snafu. Came over, quick little elbow to the face, lets her powder out, and
that's a good vet.
Do her thing.
That's a good vet right there. Stephanie McCour showing up, with Julia
Monster
showing
pop
up
for her too.
Trish showing up was obviously fun. Charlotte got her pop. Again, Julia, a little disappointed.
That concerned me. That it was not great on the when I watched it back. Good. It was not great. No,
it wasn't good live either. So
that's bad.
They have some work to do on her presentation. Wrestling wise, she's great. I think they have a little work to do on her presentation. I'll skip this next one because I'm gonna again eat some crow. Nikki Bella, don't care. I was like, okay. Well,
I had for the half a second. Oh,
you did. You said you're like, oh,
it was.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not to say. I mean, it sounds like this is going to be like a more regular, recurring character on TV. Cool. That she kind of wants to get back into the ring at least part time anyway. I mean, that's fine. I was never
a Bella person, so this is just kind of Nia Jax. Dude, Nia Jax has leveled up like crazy. I mean, the facial expressions, the trash talk, like just everything about Nia Jax right now. I love it. This is what we were supposed to get when she originally debuted, and she just seems so comfortable in the ring. She just seems great. Kind of at this point, my MVP of this Rumble. I loved everything about what she did. She eliminated 9 women in 8 minutes, which is crazy. Yep. The spot that I know you were a little iffy on live. How did you feel about it rewatching?
Yeah,
all of the women were there, and Nia tossed them out.
Yeah, no, it worked. I'm okay with it now.
Yeah, and that's fair. Watching it live is a little bit different than going back and rewatching. But I thought it very well booked Rumble. We were at a point where I think we were almost 10 people in and nobody had been eliminated. So I thought, just a well booked Rumble. And I was very happy. And yes, Charlotte winning. Was it predictable? Sure. Yeah. Sometimes predictable is good. They're going to have to tell an interesting story with her because I don't think you can do the redemption story with Charlotte because I don't care that much. You came back from a knee injury. Cool. Like a lot of people do that. Like, I think you need to tell that, hey, I'm the best and I just proved it and I'm going to go prove it again kind of thing. So I'm excited to see how they present her.
And we knew that this win was going to get a lot of negative reaction. I think that we kind of braced ourselves for this. But it really is just a very simple story. Charlotte Flair is a fucking 14-time world champion. Okay. Yeah. There's not a whole lot that she needs to ask for anymore when it comes to and just purely for canon purposes of WWE storytelling that I say this, because she's seen it all and she's done it all. She's a box office attraction. You notice when she's there, you notice when she's not. And I mean, think about the Rumble itself. She's the only one in that Rumble that got full entrance, did not need to run that ramp. Pyro. Took her sweet fucking time to get to that ring. That's how they're angling Charlotte Flair in this next chapter of hers, because again, whether we like it or not, I mean, she's essentially Thanos of the women's division. She's going to run roughshod. Now, hopefully she will choose Tiffany, and then we can have some conversations about who wins that match. But for now, for this to be her return and for it to just be, hey, here's everything that I've done in this company. If I want a Rumble spot, I'm going to take it. I'm going to win it. I'm good with it.
Yeah. And again, you got to, I think that's the story you need to tell. Don't tell a redemption story. Please don't.
And there are a lot of, and Dan, you're absolutely right. There are a lot of questions kind of coming out of this Rumble. There were a lot. And even for the women's, here are just a handful of the dream matches that I kind of wrote down here. I mean, Liv and Alexa seems like that could be a Mania program. Bianca and Jordan Grace had that pull apart moment.
Yep. It looks like the rumor online is Alexa is going to Raw. So that could be something there.
Yeah.
Because Liv's on Raw.
Yeah. Charlotte and Jordan Grace had an interaction. Julia obviously eliminated Jordan Grace, so we're looking at that. That could be a fun stand and deliver program for Julia. Real test for Jordan Grace if we throw her in here in NXT. I don't think that she needs to be there for all of 2025, but we'll see. But yeah, there is
Nia and Trish.
Yeah, Nia and Trish. Trish, it seems like, especially because they're rolling out the 25 years of Trish Stratus merch, Trish might be coming back for an extended run. Yeah. What a time to be a wrestling fan.
Again, a very well booked Rumble where, yes, the winner seemed obvious, but it was a lot of fun either way. So
yeah,
I think TJ booked that one. Shout out to TJ. That was.
Yeah. And we did not see Jade Cargill. Are you surprised by the fact that we did not see Jade in this match?
I'm surprised we didn't see Jade. I'm surprised we didn't see Becky. But you kind of made a good point. Like, you don't need all the surprises in one match. So we have a long road to WrestleMania. There's still time for both of these women to pop back up and kind of.
Facts.
They have a lot of TV time to fill.
Also, from a production standpoint, one thing we also noticed is the first year they had a graphic, a continuous graphic, kind of keeping everybody aware of what's going on in the Rumble. Awesome. And I took this in my notes as I was watching this last night. In 2025, Papa H just wants wrestling to be easy to understand for people to watch.
Yeah, you said it live.
Every opportunity, yeah. It's they want people to know what's going on. They want them to know how this match works. They want them to know what the stakes are instead of gatekeeping kind of how it works. Making it easy for fans to understand. If they can understand it, they're probably going to go over to Netflix to watch it. They're probably going to say, "Oh, I've got this over on Peacock. I can go watch all this old stuff. Cool. Fuck yeah, sign me up. Love it."
Yeah, no, the stats were cool, and everyone, like a couple of them, like when Michin came out, I don't know if you noticed, it said former TNA's knockout champion.
Yep,
cool.
Sure did.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
like that's like, again, that's story to tell. Now you can, with the partnership, you can go, hey, what does that mean? Now you can Google it and you can go see all of Michin's old stuff and go, oh, hey, maybe I should care about her wrestling for the mid card title. Like,
yeah,
that's good storytelling, and that's good, like you said, information for not us. Not the hardcore fans, but the casual fans. But even the hardcore fans, I think, especially me, really like that kind of scoreboard thing of like how many are in the ring and how many have been eliminated and how many are left kind of thing. Like, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no, very much so. Very much so. So let's talk about the tag title match.
No, okay.
No, tag title match. Yeah, 2 out of 3 falls. Good match.
Worked hard. Tough spot.
It just and that was going to be the case no matter what. It just was. Everybody's excited for the ladder match. The Rumbles are the reason that we're there. Like, it just, they got their moments, but they are setting the seeds for something. I mean, Street Profits coming in, taking out DIY with a crutch of all weapons. I mean, just very poetic storytelling. Street Profits need this edge. I mean, I don't think this is going to be a full heel turn for them or anything like that. But they're just kind of like, hey, you took us out, we're going to take you out, and we're going to take your title. We want to take the titles from you for what you did to us. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I saw some fantasy booking that this could be a 3-way ladder match at Mania. Like, maybe the Profits win this in Chamber, and then everybody has a reason to go vie for these titles again. Why not? This would be good. Yeah. Yeah, and I get it. Like, this was the let me up match, and I told Heather this too, because even when we were watching their live, she's like, "How come nobody is like cheering?" I'm like, "Everybody's tired." Like, this is kind of that let me up match. I don't know. It's unfortunate that it is, but again, go back and rewatch it. It wasn't a bad match. It
really wasn't.
Match. So,
I would have loved if they got 5 or 6 more minutes.
Yeah, but I think by the end of that night, that crowd was exhausted. So good job having 4 matches, I think. So
yeah, extremely.
Cody Rhodes retained.
Ladder match, man. Like you said, this is an early match of the year contender for sure.
I think so. It was really, really good. Are you disappointed Cody won?
No. And I mean, I think that we worked ourselves up hoping that Kevin Owens would get the win here. I would have been happy either way. But I do think that this is fine. This is fine. If there was an opportunity to put a title on KO and kind of give us a swerve on the road to WrestleMania like they have done in the past, now would have been the time to do it. They didn't. That's okay. Kevin Owens is a top motherfucking guy. Like he knows he knows his character. He plays his role to perfection. That will be rewarded sooner than later. So
yeah, hopefully. So something that you brought up and you and Kyle were discussing a little bit that I want you to go into a little bit more detail on is Sami Zayn. You were upset a little bit. Like, why was he there? Like, it just didn't make sense.
I didn't.
Like, I want you to go into it a little bit more.
I didn't need this in this match per se. Sammy, like we're getting to the point where Sammy's just starting to stick his nose where it doesn't belong, or that it's not needed. I mean, I know that KO said kind of this friendship. I need you to help me out here. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. If you're going, I feel like with something like that, if you're going to do it, have Sammy cost Cody the title. Like, just don't come out just to kind of be like, okay, calm down. Like, let's work this out. The fucking contract's already been signed. Those belts have to come down somehow. You coming out to try to play Peacemaker in the middle of a fucking match isn't going to work. Like that's just not. It didn't do it for me. Loved his time in the Rumble. Absolutely did. I just don't think that we needed this particular layer to the ladder match.
Sami Zayn lasted 5.5 minutes in the Rumble.
Quality, not quantity.
Seems a little short to me. Yeah, let's see. We got a little bit of that Homelander effect with Cody. We'll see if that continues. He might have a challenger coming up.
And we're going to talk about that.
Let's talk about the men's, man. Go ahead. Come on.
No. I am not starting this discourse. You are starting this discourse, and you know exactly why you're starting this discourse.
Yeah, Joe Hendry showed up, and I was excited.
That pop was actually pretty
great,
yeah.
Probably the second biggest pop of the night. Joe, going back and rewatching it too, everybody was really, really excited. Let's break it down real quick. Rey and Penta starting. Loved it.
Penta was definitely eliminated from the Royal Rumble.
They had some fun, like, kind of cruiserweight action going on. I was not mad at IShowSpeed getting put in the Rumble. No. I wasn't mad at all. Breaker killed him.
Destroyed him.
Breaker, I thought, had a good Rumble. Jacob Fatu came in. Not as big as a Rumble as I thought he would have, but still liked his spots.
Had some moments, yeah.
Only had 4
also, real quick, as far as IShowSpeed, so his tweet after the match is I think, the most liked wrestling tweet ever at like 1.5 million likes or some shit like that.
Look, he has 35 million subscribers on YouTube. Yeah. Like, that's cool. They're getting eyes on the product. I didn't hate the spot. It is what it is.
No, not at all. He didn't overstay his welcome.
No,
we know he's not a wrestler. He's very clearly not a wrestler. Like Johnny Knoxville, like when they do these sorts of celebrity spots, they have a purpose.
Yeah, it was good. Joe Hendry in the Rumble got eliminated by Roman Reigns, which
big deal.
Could be eliminated by worse. And then we just had kind of a gauntlet of people come down, right? And then we had Reigns, McIntyre. Finn came out to no pop because nobody knew who the hell it was because they debuted new music.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew who it was. Nobody. Shinsuke, worst U.S. title booked champion since Dean Ambrose.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's bad.
you had Jey Uso come out, get a huge pop. AJ coming out to the OG thing was awesome. And then you had Cena, Punk, Rollins. Dirty Dom came out to kind of break that up and give you a little bit of a break. And then Sami Zayn, Damian Priest, LA Knight, and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I liked this Rumble as well because of the fast start. Like the fast pace in the beginning was cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. You had a couple of the big guys come out, kind of ease that up. Otis, I thought, had a really good fun spot in the Rumble. Braun Breaker looked very good in the Rumble. Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble.
Yes, he did. By eliminating who?
By eliminating John Cena.
Yes. Yeah. Can't forget that. Jey Uso. And I wish and I'm gonna play this video tomorrow. I mean, I am gonna upload it because I just didn't get to because I got that moment with the win, panned over to you, and the sheer shock on your face. I think our audience needs to see. So
go look at anybody's face.
It shocked the fuck out of me too.
Go look at. I know, but you just had to get me, you jackass. But you go look at anybody's face. I think everybody was shocked. And look, I rewatched it. I'm still shocked. I'm not going to complain about it because we've been asking for fresh in the main event. We've been asking for them to push different. It was stacked. It was stacked. It was stacked. And then Jey Uso wins it is crazy. And that's something that, you don't expect. They have when's WrestleMania? 3 months?
19 and 20.
Okay. They have 3 months to convince me that this man's going to win a WWE championship. He is over like hell, and I will not deny that. He is over like hell.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm going to, because I want to specifically focus in on these final two. Actually, no, first I'm going to talk about what might be brewing here because we saw Punk, Punk, Rollins, and Reigns all eliminated consecutively. Some help with CM Punk and Logan Paul getting those eliminations here. Seth Rollins went off and stomped the fuck out of Roman. That was a double stomp to the back of Roman's head. Yes, that was just brutal. No, that could be the dirtiest triple threat match ever, and I want to see it because at this point they now have reasons to get their hands on each other. I would hope that at least one or two of those three end up in Elimination Chamber because I have a feeling that they are not going to go down without a fight as far as getting back to a world title match at WrestleMania. But that was a lot of fun to watch. Just the friction that is it's palpable and they fucking nailed it. So that's what I want to point out about that. I'm going to talk about Cena specifically here because I picked him to win. Cena getting the Rumble storyline to punch his ticket to WrestleMania. It would have been a safe choice, made a lot of money, and everybody would have been fine with it. It would have guaranteed us the 17th world title story, and it would have tied him with Austin for the most Rumbles won in company history.
Yep.
Would that have been awesome to see? Fuck yes. Does he need it for legacy purposes? Fuck no. If John Cena won the Royal Rumble, we would not have gotten what is already a promo of the year contender at his press conference. He said, I'm not taking questions. I'm going to talk. And he did something that he has never done before. He has, and he's absolutely right. 23 years of loyal service to that company. If he wants a spot in the Elimination Chamber during his last year of active competition, that's not something he has to ask for. He faced adversity and he said, you know what? Yeah, this sucks. There's still one more way to get there, and I'm taking it because it's me. He's never done that before. He has never said, because I'm John Cena, I deserve a place in this match. That is interesting to me.
Could it happen? It's his final year. Are we finally going to get that heel turn?
That is a bold fucking move if they do.
Hey, it's your final year.
There's only one chance to do it, and that's the next thing we need to talk about here is presumably, let's just say for the sake of this conversation, he does wrestle Cody at WrestleMania. Do you really kind of tease Homelander going into WrestleMania now, or is that something you want to wait for to come out of WrestleMania? Like that's
I think you teased
the
Bill Pitt.
excitement here is either one of these guys.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is like not only is this the last chance for Cena heel turn, so Cena versus Cody is a marquee money main event anywhere in the world. You have one shot to do it at WrestleMania. You have to take it.
Yep. And that would be main event for one night.
Yeah.
And Jey Uso's main eventing the other night.
I think that Jey Uso main events night one.
You don't think?
I know that you don't like it. And here's what I have to say about this, just because it has taken the internet by storm. I wanted to make sure that I took these notes down. I want to get this out here. Jey Uso has been a decades-long tag team act, and he was thrust into the single spotlight, and it got off to a really, really, really rocky start there. I mean, splitting him up from his brother just to have him win tag titles with Cody just didn't make sense to me. But once everything clicked and he got himself over with the crowd, they love him. He is moving merch now.
Yeah, a lot.
He is printing the company money. And I think I said this either to you off camera or some point in the show, but basically Jey Uso has a viral entrance that you can pair with any celebrity at any time, and you put a title around their waist. It's going viral, and it's getting them exactly what they want, that continued exposure, especially in the Netflix era. Jey Uso is a different type of champion that they can use in this era as a let me up for the Gunthers and Cody Rhodeses of the world. That's let me up champion is still a world heavyweight champion. I'm not expecting a world beater title run from Jey Uso here, but he fucking deserves this moment here. So I'm going to sit back and relax and hope that he chooses Gunther. And I'm calling my shot now. I think Jey Uso wins the world title at WrestleMania. You don't make a decision like this not to get yourselves there, because then what's the point? This is their one chance to do it, I think. And I think that they will.
Begs the question. Is Gunther walking into WrestleMania as the champion?
Who would you put it on if you were to book a Gunther match at Elimination Chamber?
I would put Gunther in the Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
I'd have Sami Zayn win the title.
All right. I'm listening. I like that.
Sami Zayn and Jey Uso at WrestleMania, I think, would be a lot of fun. And that story is
they've main evented as a tag team, and then to main event
story
singles in a night.
There, man. You want to talk about storytelling? The guy that wouldn't let him into the bloodline, that finally let him into the bloodline,
is now the gatekeeper to his moment.
I mean, the story's there.
All right.
The story's there.
Ooh, damn, that's really good.
Yeah, it's there. Look, a lot of different directions coming out of the Rumble. We don't know who's. Yes. I don't know any WrestleMania match right now, and I love that. That's really cool. Tonight on Raw, Charlotte will be live.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
Don't know what she's going to do. She'll be live. Something you said earlier, CM Punk and Sami Zayn are in a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. So
Punk and Zayn, you said?
Punk and Zayn.
Okay.
The other qualifying match is Liv and Io Sky. And then Jey Uso will be on Raw. That's all that's advertised right now. Look, it was fun. I was shocked. I haven't been shocked like that probably in a long time. Probably last time I was when Punk returned. Oos, I hope The Rock doesn't come out.
Oh God! Yeah, those words, but not at WrestleMania. Might if I hear those words again, that might I might chew a brick.
Yeah, I hope The Rock doesn't come out and do something. But hey, I'm excited. Road to WrestleMania has begun. Here we go.
Kyle thinks Logan may cost Punk singles match Elimination Chamber.
Could be fun.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want that to be Punk's WrestleMania match, but sure.
No. Punk does not want that to be his WrestleMania match.
No. And it looks like maybe Priest and Drew.
Let's we didn't even talk about that one. So Drew McIntyre storming off, some confusion as far as allegations of somebody getting their shit in and kind of taken away from the moment. Allegedly LA Knights. I did kind of look back at that bump that they were kind of referring to. It seemed rather harmless to the casual eye or to the untrained eye. But I don't know. Drew knows how to work the dirty sheets and use social media to his advantage. So
yes, he does. That's why my ears are up. That's why my ears are up, man. Like there's the same.
I didn't see anything out of the ordinary that LNet did that would make you think, oh, this. I mean, because we've watched a lot of wrestling in person and not, and kind of by way of kind of finding ourselves becoming friends with the people that we become friends with to kind of know, we kind of know what to look for, and I just didn't notice anything like that. Well, it just didn't seem like that to me.
So you got Priest and Drew who have no clear cut, WrestleMania program. And then you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, Drew did cash in on, or Damian Priest did cash in on Drew.
Yeah.
Why not? Again, the story's there. Why not? Neither of them have much going on going into Mania. Like neither of them was going to challenge for the title. Priest needs something big, and hell, Drew getting a big win at WrestleMania against Priest would be fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm good with it.
Former world champions going at it. Yeah, totally good with
it. I'm worried what the hell LA Knight's going to do, but we'll find out what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the road to WrestleMania has officially begun, and I'm so glad that I got to spend that with you as well as the main event crew, podcast mom, and Hugo Ramsey.
Yes. Hi, Hugo. We love you. Heather could not stop talking about Hugo on the way home. How cool he was. So, Hugo, we love you. We're going to fix the Reds, buddy.
Awesome. All right, well, I think that is going to do it for us tonight.
Go Birds.
It is the week. I'm going to let you have your moment. I'm going to let you enjoy it. I hope that you do. Fuck the Chiefs. But, I think that is going to do it for us. This week, we are going to be recording some footage for After the Empire as well as Coastal Countdown. Remember, Coastal Empire Wrestling, Jandemonium event is available on YouTube right now. I have watched it in its entirety. I have some thoughts, and we have some things that we need to discuss. So this week we're going to be filming interviews with the likes of Jay Alpha Miller, Randall Reno III, and Chad Skywalker. I will also be having a conversation this week with the TWE champion Sensei Aaron Wade. We live in a world where Tim Bosby and Aaron Wade are champions of our two favorite indies right now, and it just does not sit well.
Times are low.
It's not great. It's
always come back up.
Lawlessness, but be on the lookout for that content. Remember to follow them at CEW Savannah on X. Oh, look who decided to stop by. Cheers. Thanks for joining in. That's going to do it for us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night, 6:30. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to that YouTube channel. Help us to get to 500 subs. We love what we do here. We want to grow this community. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell if they like wrestling. If they Tell
the Eagles fans, come party with me Monday.
Make friends at your local dispensary.
Come on, come party with me on Monday after an Eagles victory. I want all the Eagles fans in the chats.
I guess I'll tolerate that. Yeah,
you will.
WrestleSibs drops this week, celebrating with the Yeet Punch for the podcast. Adam, Mr. Cincinnati. It's been the Wrestling Junkies podcast. See you tomorrow.